Is Elon Musk an example of the new technology or nerd-based alpha male? So some things are biological and some things are cultural. There's always an interplay between nature and nurture. So what is an alpha male has some characteristics back to the caveman in terms of like whatever you want to think they are, whether it be strength or, but these things, vary culturally over time. So what it means to be strong in the caveman days in terms of physical strength, now you can be the strongest person, but you can be pumping gas for a living. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but strength, in the 1800s might have been that you had dexterity with a gun in the Wild West. And then strength, 20 years ago, 30 years ago might have been that you were, able to make a lot of money on Wall Street, or at an ad agency. And then strength today might be that you're a nerd. Like nerds were always looked down upon as being kind of weak. I don't mean by me, and I'm not saying all people felt that way, but just the stereotype of like, there's such a nerd. It was kind of a put down. But nerd is kind of like, a compliment now, because a lot of the millennials and generations X, Y, Z, I'm not sure which one it is, just grew up with technology, and it's seen as a real strength now. Like people that master technology, like the Elon Musk of the world and the Mark Zuckerbergs and Larry Pages. You have to have good business sense also, because just technology by itself isn't going to make you a lot of money. But these are really like the new alpha males now, and alpha females, for the tech executives. So many more women, there was a drop off for a while, but many more women are becoming tech CEOs, engineers, things of that nature. So it's not just one gender. So when I say alpha males, I mean alpha, personalities, whether it be male or female. But, a person like Elon Musk, even when he was younger, he said he was bullied, he was beaten up, because the same tendencies of like loving technology, kind of being kind of nerdish, it's only been in the last few years, 5-10 years perhaps. Now, in the future, wealth is going to be created even faster than it is today because of the law of accelerating returns. It took Amazon like 25 years now to get up to $1 trillion. The blockchain companies, the top AI companies make it to $1 trillion in 5 years or 10 years or 3 years. Uber made it up to like $60 billion in like 5 years. What happens is, like when the human genome was 1% created after 7 years, mapped, Ray Kurzweil said, we're almost done. Everyone else says we're not going to make it because we're only 1% done. It's going to take 700 years. But he said it's just a matter of doublings. It starts off really small, but because of the law of accelerating returns, the doubles at the beginning are small, but the doubles down the road are big, because when you have a bigger number, to double it is much bigger. So the whole idea of technology, the digital divide, so basically the wealth gap is largely a skills gap. There's a lot of other factors into it, because we don't have pure markets. They're manipulated in a bad way sometimes, so I'm not saying it's just pure markets, but to some degree, the wealth gap is a skills gap, and the skills gap is a knowledge gap. And the knowledge gap, by and large, in many ways, significantly, is a technology gap. Those who profit from technology versus those that don't. So I'll say it one more time. And again, this is not counting manipulation of markets and other things, but the income gap is largely a skills gap, or significantly, maybe not largely. The skills gap is significantly a knowledge gap, and the knowledge gap is significantly a technology gap. So how proficient you are in technology is going to determine a lot of things, including perhaps whether you consider an alpha male or an alpha female.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.